Have you ever wondered what love really looks like when it's pure, genuine, and deeply rooted in the heart of a woman? Not the kind of love that fades with time or bends under pressure, but the kind of love that transforms everything it touches. Love that makes a woman give pieces of herself she would never offer to anyone else. It's rare, it's powerful, and when you recognize it, you begin to understand that it's one of the most extraordinary forces on earth. A woman's true love is not given lightly. It isn't something she hands out casually, and it's never driven by surface attraction alone. Real love, the kind that grows from her soul, is earned. It's built on trust, respect, and the sense that she has found someone who makes her feel safe to be entirely herself. Psychologists tell us that when a woman feels secure and emotionally connected, her brain naturally releases bonding chemicals like oxytocin, making her devotion stronger and deeper. In other words, when she knows her heart is safe, she invests all of herself into that bond. That's why her love is unlike anything else. It's not just a feeling, it's a choice she makes over and over again. This choice is not ordinary. It reshapes the way she sees life. It makes her happiness intertwined with the happiness of the man she loves. It changes the way she spends her energy, her attention, and even her dreams. And here's the truth. These transformations don't happen for every man. They happen only when she finds the one she trusts completely, the one she chooses to give her heart to without hesitation. That's when love turns into devotion. Think about it. Anyone can say the words, "I love you," but words without action are empty. The real measure of love lies in behavior, in the hidden signals that reveal just how deeply a person cares. And when a woman is in love with all her soul, you will see it in very specific ways. These are not casual gestures or surface-level acts. They are sacred signals, reserved for one man alone. If you can recognize them, you'll realize just how rare and priceless her love truly is. Love at its core is not about perfection. It's not about finding someone who never makes mistakes or someone who can promise a life without struggles. It's about finding a partner who chooses to stay, to fight, to give, and to build something lasting, no matter what life throws at you. A woman's true love is a reflection of that belief. It is her saying, "I see your flaws, I see your fears, I see your dreams, and I still choose you." That kind of devotion is powerful enough to shape a man's destiny, because having someone who believes in you wholeheartedly can change the way you see yourself. Psychology confirms what many already feel deep down. When someone believes in you, your chances of succeeding in life multiply. Studies show that encouragement and emotional support from a partner increase resilience, motivation, and confidence. A woman's love carries this exact power. It's not just emotional, it's transformative. It helps you push beyond limits you thought you couldn't break because you're no longer fighting alone. You're fighting with someone who stands beside you, someone who has made your journey her journey too. But here's the catch. This kind of love is rare. Not every man will experience it, and not every woman will give it. That's what makes it so valuable. When a woman loves like this, it's because she has found something in you that calls out to her soul. She doesn't offer these parts of herself casually. She doesn't fight for every man she meets. She saves the deepest parts of her devotion for the one who earns her trust, honors her presence, and treats her love as the treasure it is. So why should you keep listening? Because understanding these signals can change the way you see relationships forever. Once you know what these signs look like, you'll never mistake ordinary attention for extraordinary devotion again. You'll learn to value the difference between temporary attraction and true, lasting love. And most importantly, you'll realize that if you're blessed enough to be the man a woman gives her whole heart to, you're holding one of life's rarest treasures. Stay with this thought, because by the time you uncover these 6 powerful signs, you won't just understand love better, you feel a deeper appreciation for it. You'll understand what it truly means to be chosen. And when you do, you'll see love not as a word, not as a fleeting emotion, but as the most sacred gift you can ever receive. Would you like me to continue with the second section in the same style, another 700 to 900 words, so the momentum keeps building? When a woman truly loves, her actions become louder than any words she could ever speak. Her devotion shows up in the smallest details, yet its impact is enormous. The first and most profound way you'll notice, this is how she places your happiness at the center of her own. This isn't about sacrificing who she is or abandoning her identity. It's about finding joy in the moments when you smile, when you succeed, when you feel alive. Psychology calls this emotional attunement, the natural tendency to mirror and connect with the emotions of someone you care deeply about. For a woman in love, your happiness fuels hers. She celebrates your wins as if they were her own. She worries about your struggles as though they were happening to her. This is an obligation. It's love in its purest form, the kind that makes her heart beat in rhythm with yours. And then there is the courage to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength, and it's one of the greatest gifts a woman can give to the man she loves. Most people protect themselves behind walls, afraid to show the parts of them that feel fragile or imperfect. But when love is real, those walls come down. She lets you see who she really is, beyond the smiles and the appearances. She allows you into the sacred space of her fears, her insecurities, and her dreams. This is powerful because vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy. Without it, love remains shallow. But when she opens herself in this way, it is her way of saying, I trust you with my heart. I trust you with the pieces of me that no one else gets to see. That kind of trust should never be taken lightly, because it means she has chosen to stand before you with nothing to hide. From there, her love transforms into relentless support. Love is not just about being present in good times, it's about fueling growth, pushing each other to rise, and refusing to let the other person shrink into mediocrity. A woman who truly loves you will become your greatest encourager. She will see potential in you even when you doubt yourself. She will remind you of your worth when you forget it. She will push you to step into the best version of yourself because your success becomes her victory. Research in psychology confirms that people in supportive relationships perform better, recover faster from setbacks, and achieve more than those who walk alone. Her love becomes the wind in your sails, the quiet voice that tells you, you can do this. I believe in you. What makes these expressions of love so powerful is that they are not forced. They are not strategic. They flow naturally because her heart is invested. She doesn't prioritize your happiness out of duty. She does it because your smile lights her world. She doesn't reveal her vulnerabilities because she has to. She does it because her soul feels safe with you. She doesn't push you to grow because she's trying to control you. She does it because she wants to see you win, because your victories feel like shared triumphs. This kind of love is transformational, not transactional. It doesn't ask, what do I get out of this? It asks, how can we rise together? And when you begin to recognize these signs, you start to understand the magnitude of what love really is. It's not just romance. It's not just passion. It's a force that builds, heals, and propels both people forward in ways they could never achieve alone. But here is something many overlook. These expressions of love are not infinite. They are treasures that thrive only when they are acknowledged, respected, and reciprocated. A woman can only continue to give this kind of devotion if she feels her love is valued. Neglect it, and the fire begins to fade. Honor it, and it grows stronger with time. That's why awareness is everything. Recognizing these signs isn't just about identifying love. It's about protecting it, cherishing it, and nurturing it so it continues to thrive. The truth is, most people search their entire lives for this kind of connection and never find it. Others hold it in their hands without realizing its worth until it slips away. But when you understand the depth of these gestures, you begin to see clearly love isn't ordinary. It isn't disposable. It is the rarest treasure you will ever be entrusted with. And if you have experienced a woman prioritizing your happiness, sharing her vulnerabilities, and standing as your unwavering supporter, then you already know what it feels like to be chosen in a way that few ever are. That is not something to take for granted. It is something to guard, something to give back to, and something to build upon. Because when you return that devotion with equal respect and love, the relationship transforms into a force that can weather any storm and achieve any dream. Every man dreams of being loved like this, but only those who are ready to recognize its value and rise to meet it will truly experience it. That is the challenge and the reward, to not only receive love, but to rise worthy of it. And when you do, when you meet her devotion with your own, you discover that love is not just an emotion. It is the greatest source of strength and fulfillment life has to offer. Do you want me to now continue with the next section, covering the next 3 signs of true love in the same 700 to 900 word depth so the script builds like a crescendo? There is a side of love that often goes unnoticed until life tests its strength. It's easy to show affection when everything is smooth, when days are bright and hearts are light. But the truest measure of a woman's love is revealed when challenges appear, when problems rise, when misunderstandings happen, when the weight of life feels heavy. That's when you see her choice. A woman who truly loves doesn't walk away at the first sign of conflict. She doesn't retreat into silence or give up when things feel hard. She fights for the bond. She stands firm, determined to protect the connection she has built. This is commitment in its purest form, not rooted in convenience, but in devotion. It's her way of saying, we are worth the struggle, you are worth the effort. And this choice alone separates temporary affection from everlasting love. Another powerful sign lies in the way she invests in your world. When her love is real, your journey becomes her journey. She takes interest in your passions, even if they are far from her own. She listens when you speak about your goals, even if she doesn't fully understand them. She pays attention to the details of your struggles and victories because they matter to you. And if they matter to you, they matter to her. This is not about control, nor about curiosity alone. It's about alignment. It's about weaving her life into yours, not because she has to, but because she wants to be a part of the bigger picture you are painting. When she invests in your world, she is telling you with her actions, I see your life as our life. I see your dreams as our dreams. I am not standing on the sidelines. I am in this with you. And perhaps one of the most sacred signs of all is respect. Respect is the foundation that keeps love alive long after passion rises and falls. Without respect, no relationship can survive. But when a woman truly loves a man, respect flows naturally. She honors his efforts even when he falls short. She values his presence even when life gets busy. She treats him as her equal, not because he demands it, but because her heart recognizes his worth. Respect is not given to every man she meets. It is reserved for the one she chooses to trust with her heart. And when respect is present, love grows effortlessly. Because respect is oxygen to love. It allows it to breathe, to expand, to endure. Think about what these three signs reveal.
Fighting for the relationship shows commitment.
Investing in your world shows unity. Giving respect shows honor. Together, they form the pillars of love that cannot be shaken. These are not casual gestures. They are deliberate actions that come only from the depth of true devotion. And when a man receives these, he must understand something very important. This is not ordinary. This is rare. This is sacred. Psychology tells us that long-lasting relationships are built not on constant excitement, but on commitment, shared purpose, and mutual respect. These are the exact qualities reflected in these actions. A woman who chooses to fight for love instead of fleeing from conflict is showing resilience. And resilience is the lifeblood of any relationship. A woman who enters your world and invests her energy into your passions is building shared meaning, which researchers say is one of the strongest predictors of lasting love. And a woman who gives respect freely is creating an environment where trust and intimacy can flourish without fear. Each of these behaviors is deeply tied to what makes love endure through time. But here is the truth. These signs should never be overlooked. Many men fail to see them because they expect love to always look like romance or grand gestures. They forget that the deepest expressions of love are often quiet, steady, and consistent. They show up in the effort to stay, the desire to understand, and the gift of respect. Overlook them and you may miss the very proof that you are holding the love people spend a lifetime searching for. Recognize them and you will realize that you are experiencing one of life's rarest treasures. What makes these signs so profound is that they are a choice, not an accident. She chooses to fight for you when walking away might be easier. She chooses to step into your world when she could have kept hers separate. She chooses to respect you, not because of perfection, but because she values your essence. And love at its highest level is always a choice, a decision to give, to stay, to honor, and to build. If you are fortunate enough to have a woman who shows you these signs, understand the responsibility that comes with it. Her love is not fragile, but it is not indestructible either. It requires your recognition, your reciprocity, and your own commitment to match her devotion. Because love, no matter how strong, cannot thrive in one direction. It grows when both hearts contribute, when both people fight, invest, and respect in return. This is the challenge and the invitation to rise to the level of the love you are given, to not just receive it, but to mirror it back, to become the man who fights with her, builds with her, and honors her. Because when both partners live at this level, love doesn't just survive, it transforms into something extraordinary. It becomes unshakable, it becomes unbreakable, and it becomes the foundation upon which the most beautiful life can be built. Do you want me to continue and write the final section, the closing message that ties all 6 signs together into one powerful conclusion, 700 to 900 words? So the script feels complete and leaves the audience deeply moved? When you step back and look at the full picture of these 6 signs, a deeper truth begins to reveal itself. Love, in its purest form, is not just about how someone makes you feel in the moment, it's about how they show up when it matters most, how they consistently pour pieces of themselves into the bond, and how they choose you again and again, even when life tests every part of that choice. A woman who truly loves will show it through joy in your happiness, courage in her vulnerability, devotion in her support, resilience in her commitment, unity in her investment, and reverence in her respect. These are not scattered gestures. They are a complete language of love, one that speaks louder than any words ever could. It's important to understand the weight of what this means. Many men go through life searching for signs of love and fleeting displays of passion or in surface-level attraction. But passion alone is temporary. It rises and falls. It excites for a moment, then disappears with time. True love is not fleeting. It is steady. It is resilient. It is a force that builds, heals, and endures. And the woman who embodies these 6 signs is showing you that her love is not shallow, not fragile, and not uncertain. It is rooted deep in the parts of her that she doesn't give to just anyone. It is a sacred gift, and when you hold it, you hold something that millions of people may spend a lifetime searching for and never find. This is why it must never be taken for granted. Love thrives where it is honored. It grows where it is reciprocated. When a woman loves with this kind of devotion, it is not enough to simply acknowledge it. It must be cherished. Psychology teaches us that relationships are strongest when both partners engage in mutual reinforcement, where love is not one-sided but reflected and returned. When you mirror her devotion with your own, you create a cycle of growth. Her love strengthens you. Your love strengthens her. Together, you build something greater than what either could build alone. That is the real power of love. It multiplies when it is shared. But neglect, indifference, or complacency are the silent destroyers of this gift. Too many men lose the love they once had, not because it was weak, but because they stopped nurturing it. They stopped recognizing the quiet sacrifices, the subtle acts of care, the moments of vulnerability that were given in trust. Love fades not because it was never there, but because it was left unappreciated. The tragedy is that many only realize the value of such love after it's gone. Don't make that mistake. If you are blessed with a woman who shows these signs, hold her close. Protect that bond. Honor it with your words, your actions, and your commitment. Respect her devotion by becoming the man who stands beside her, not just when life is easy, but when it's difficult. Match her vulnerability with your own honesty. Celebrate her joy with your presence and attention. Support her dreams with the same energy she gives to yours. And above all, treat her love not as something owed, but as something extraordinary. Because the truth is, love given freely is rare, but love cherished and protected is even rarer. When you recognize and nurture this kind of love, you will notice something powerful begin to happen. Your life changes. Not because love solves every problem, but because it gives you strength to face those problems differently. You stop walking alone and begin walking with a partner who carries the load with you. You stop doubting your worth because you see it reflected in her eyes every day. You stop fearing the storms of life because you know you have someone beside you who refuses to let go of your hand, no matter how rough the winds become. That is the power of true love. It doesn't erase the difficulties, but it makes you strong enough to rise above them. And here lies the ultimate reminder. Real love is not common. It is not guaranteed. It is not something you stumble upon every day. It is rare, precious, and sacred. When you have it, you hold the most valuable treasure you will ever be given. Do not waste it. Do not take it for granted. Do not let the busyness of life blind you to the gift that is right in front of you. If you have a woman who shows you these 6 signs, you are already richer than most. You are already standing in the presence of something many only dream of. So guard it, honor it, and give it back in full measure. Because love like this is the foundation of greatness. It fuels ambition, it strengthens character, and it transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. And if you do not yet see these signs in your life, let this message be a call to rise to the level of love you desire. Become the kind of man who inspires such devotion, who creates the safety for vulnerability, the strength for respect, and the trust that invites commitment. Because the love you seek is not found by chance. It is built, nurtured, and earned. At the end of the day, love is not about finding perfection. It's about finding someone willing to give deeply and choosing to give just as deeply in return. When you have that, you have everything. And when you protect it, there is nothing in this world more powerful. Do you want me to now refine this final section into a closing narration, a shorter, punchier 400 to 500 words designed to leave the audience with goosebumps and a lasting emotional impact? Love is more than emotion. It is transformation. When it is real, it reshapes the way you think, the way you act, and even the way you see yourself. A woman who truly loves doesn't just add comfort to your life. She awakens a deeper strength inside you. Her devotion becomes a mirror that reflects back your potential, a constant reminder that you are capable of more than you once believed. And this is where love takes its most powerful form. It becomes fuel, it becomes purpose, it becomes the force that drives you to rise higher than you thought possible. Think of what it means when someone ties their heart to yours so completely. Every sacrifice she makes, every effort she gives, every battle she fights alongside you is not just about the relationship. It is about the belief that you are worthy of that devotion. That belief is life-changing. Psychology proves that when people feel unconditionally supported, they take bigger risks, pursue bolder goals, and recover faster from failures. This is why true love doesn't just feel good. It makes you grow. It stretches your limits and pulls greatness out of you that might have stayed hidden without it. But here is a truth many overlook. With love comes responsibility. The more someone gives, the more sacred the trust becomes. A woman who pours her soul into your life is handing you the most valuable treasure she has. To take it lightly is to break something fragile and irreplaceable. To honor it, however, is to create a bond that becomes unshakable. The choice lies in whether you simply receive her love passively, or whether you step into the role of a man who matches it with his own strength, loyalty, and respect. Because love dies in imbalance. But when both partners rise together, love doesn't just survive, it thrives. This is why gratitude is not optional, it is essential. Gratitude turns ordinary love into extraordinary love. When you notice the small ways she chooses you, when you acknowledge the effort she invests, when you honor the respect she gives, you water the roots of the relationship. And just as a tree grows stronger when nourished, love grows unbreakable when gratitude flows both ways. Many relationships falter not because love wasn't real, but because gratitude was absent, appreciation was left unspoken, and what goes unappreciated eventually fades. To keep love alive is to live awake to its presence. Every smile she brings, every moment she stands by your side, every time she chooses your bond over her pride, these are not accidents. They are decisions. They are proof of her commitment, and they deserve to be met with equal devotion. Love is not a one-way street. It is a partnership, and the strength of that partnership depends on whether both people give their all. The truth is, we live in a world where many have forgotten what real love looks like. Too often, people chase surface attraction, temporary thrills, or shallow validation, but those things fade. What remains is character. What remains is loyalty. What remains is respect and effort that stand the test of time. A woman who shows you all 6 of these signs is rare. She is showing you not just that she loves you, but that she has chosen you to be the one she invests her heart in fully. And that choice deserves everything in return. Imagine a life where love is not just something you feel, but something that pushes you forward every single day. Imagine having someone who lifts you when you fall, who celebrates your wins as though they were her own, who holds your hand through storms without letting go. That is not a dream. It is reality when you recognize, honor, and reciprocate true love. And when you do, life transforms, challenges feel lighter, victories feel sweeter, and the journey feels purposeful because you are no longer walking alone, you are walking together. Never forget that love is the rarest treasure you will ever hold. Money can be lost, status can fade, opportunities can disappear, but real love endures, real love strengthens. Real love builds legacies. And if you are blessed enough to experience it, you are holding more than just affection. You are holding a force powerful enough to change your entire life. So rise to meet it, protect it, honor it. Become the man who does not just receive love, but multiplies it through his actions, his words, and his commitment. Because when both hearts give fully, love becomes unstoppable. It becomes unshakable, and it becomes the foundation for a life filled with meaning, purpose, and greatness. That is the power of love when it is real. That is the gift you are called to recognize. And that is the reminder to never take lightly the devotion of a woman who truly chooses you. Because once you see it, once you honor it, you will realize that nothing in this world compares to it, and nothing ever will. Would you like me to now write a condensed closing version around 400 to 500 words designed as the final narration that leaves the audience with goosebumps and a lasting sense of inspiration?